Hi, my name is Rachel, and today I am going to be sharing with you an analysis I did on housing data in Kings County. Specifically, the goal of my analysis was to figure out what the main drivers of house prices in Kings County are. And to do this, I used a multivariate linear regression analysis, which allows us to understand the relationship between each variable and the price of homes. The 17 different variables that I utilize are listed here, and they include things such as the size of the house, the different features of the house, the location, etc. And to give a more specific example of how we can use this regression analysis, we could say use the model to see if having more bedrooms in a house leads to a higher priced or lower priced house, or if it really has no effect on the house price at all. Now, before I dive into the results, I first just wanted to give a quick overview of the process that I used to make sure that all of my results were as accurate as possible. I use a pretty common data science process, which you can see summarized here. And so I first had to gather and obtain all of my data and any necessary materials. I then had to scrub or clean my data to make sure that everything was in a format that my model could understand and identified appropriately. I then moved into the explore phase, which is where I really started to dive into the data and start to see if any trends were emerging and hypothesize potential conclusions. I then modeled my data using the regression analysis. And finally, I interpreted that model to see which variables really are having a strong impact on the price of homes. And that is what I'm going to share with you today. So now jumping right in my experience, people often pay more to live in certain highly desired areas. And from this chart here, we can see that that is certainly the case in Kings County as well. The dark purple circles are going to represent higher priced homes, and we can see that the majority of them are falling to the north of this graph, and we also have a bit of a cluster of them around 47.6 longitude and negative 122.2 latitude. So we can really use this chart to see which locations are best for selling higher priced homes. In addition to the location, it's also important to know when the best time of year to sell is. From these charts, we can see that higher priced homes are typically sold during the spring and summer months, as well as on weekdays. So I'd highly recommend trying to sell in these parameters, if at all possible, in order to maximize your profits. While there definitely are some people who like the charm of an old home, the majority of people really would prefer to spend more on newer homes compared to older homes. There are a couple additional factors that I wanted to touch on that also have strong influences on the price of houses in Kings County. This first bullet I don't think is too surprising. Larger houses tend to sell for higher prices, especially when they are located near other large houses. Kings County gives each house a grade, and higher priced homes typically have been giving a better grade from the county. Having more bathrooms in a house also could lead to being able to sell for a higher price. And finally, having a waterfront view really adds value to the house compared to homes that don't have a view. So to quickly summarize, there are definitely a couple of variables that you want to make sure you're taking into account when trying to maximize your profits selling a house in Kings County. You want to make sure you know the effect of the location, as well as if the house has a waterfront view. Definitely keep in mind the time of year you're selling, as well as the day of the week. When the house was built could impact price, as consumers typically want to buy or to spend more on more recently built houses. Having a larger sized house that has more bathrooms can also lead to being able to sell for a higher price. And finally, the grade of the home given by Kings County definitely has an impact on price as well. I hope that you found this information helpful, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. Thank you.